Hey everyone, are you ready for some serious high-flying action?
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys love fighter jets, and today we're going to be diving into the top 5 in the whole world.
Right.
The ones the experts say are the absolute best of the best. We're talking cutting-edge tech, incredible speed, stealth capabilities, and a whole lot of firepower. So strap in, because this is going to be a wild ride.
You know, these jets really are more than just cool machines.
Right.
They're absolutely critical to modern militaries, and they represent massive investments in a nation's defense.
Yeah, for sure.
And the technology is advancing so quickly that it's a really exciting time to be following this.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into it then.
All right.
First up, we've got the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II.
Okay.
Now, this jet, they say, is so advanced that it actually boosts the economy. How is that even possible?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's got stealth tech, sensor fusion. Are we talking sci-fi here? What's going on?
Well, the F-35 is definitely a fascinating aircraft. It actually comes in 3 different versions.
Oh, okay.
So you have the X-35A for standard takeoffs and landings, the F-35B. That one can take off in really short distances and even land vertically.
Really?
And then you've got the F-35C,
Okay.
which is specifically designed for aircraft carriers.
Right.
Though that sensor fusion you mentioned, it's basically a system that combines all the data from multiple senses that are all over the jet, and then it gives the pilot like a complete picture of everything that's happening around them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, imagine in a dogfight, it's like having eyes everywhere.
Right.
That's what sensor fusion does for those pilots.
That is a serious advantage.
Yeah.
And the F-35 is also involved in international partnerships too, right?
Absolutely.
Like teams from around the world working on this?
You have several countries actually working together on this F-35 program.
Oh, wow.
Sharing resources, expertise,
Yeah.
It's a really big example of global collaboration.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Like it's a global team effort for this top-tier jet.
Yeah.
All right, now let's switch gears completely. We're going to head over to China.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Chengdu J-20?
Yeah.
It's got a pretty cool nickname, the Mighty Dragon, and it's China's first 5th-generation fighter.
Right.
There's still a bit of mystery around it, but we do know it can fly over 1,000 nautical miles.
Right.
That is some serious range.
It's definitely a significant development. Even though we don't have all the details, its arrival on the scene really shows China's growing military strength.
Oh, for sure.
And their focus on advanced technology.
Yeah.
It's designed to compete with jets like the F-22 and Su-57.
Wow.
So, in terms of global air power, that's a pretty big deal.
It really makes you think about how these jets are shifting the balance of power all around the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of power, let's talk about the jet that kind of started it all, the original 5th-gen fighter.
Right.
The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor.
The Raptor, yeah.
This jet's a legend.
Yeah, it's been around a while.
Even though it first flew back in 1997.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I mean, I heard it can even hit supersonic speeds without using afterburners.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Oh, the F-22 was a total game changer when it arrived. It was the first one to combine stealth technology, super maneuverability, and supersonic speed.
Wow.
It was designed specifically to dominate in air-to-air combat, and its stealth capabilities are just incredibly advanced.
So they can't even see it coming.
It's really hard for enemy radar to even detect it.
Wow, so it's like a ghost in the sky appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. All right, well, fighter jets, they aren't always solo acts, are they?
No, they're not.
Next up, we've got the KAI KF-21 Boramae, and get this, it's a joint project between South Korea and Indonesia.
That's right.
Talk about teamwork.
Yeah, these joint development programs are becoming more and more common these days. It allows these countries to pool their resources and their expertise, and it often leads to some really impressive results.
I bet, yeah. This one looks kind of like a cousin of the F-22, but with its own unique style. It's got a powerful General Electric engine, the same one that's used in the Boeing FA-18EF Super Hornet. And get this, it can reach a speed of 22,000 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, that General Electric engine is a beast. It gives the KF-21 incredible thrust. It also has a pretty serious arsenal.
Oh, yeah?
Including the M61 20mm Gatling gun.
Oh, wow.
Which action movie fans will definitely recognize.
Oh, yeah. That name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Sounds like something out of a high-intensity action sequence.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That Gatling gun is definitely a classic. No wonder it shows up in so many movies. All right, for our final jet today, let's talk about Russia's entry into the world of stealth fighters.
Okay.
The Sukhoi Su-57.
The Su-57, yeah.
It's been in the news lately because of the conflict in Ukraine.
Right. The Su-57 is a fascinating aircraft. Russia's been working on it for a while now. Trying to, match the capabilities of the U.S. stealth fighters. It's designed to be pretty versatile.
Okay.
Can carry a wide range of weapons, from air-to-air missiles to bombs.
So it's not just about, hiding from radar. It's also about packing a serious punch.
Exactly, yeah.
And You mentioned it's been used in the conflict in Ukraine. What can you tell us about that?
Well, there have been reports of the Su-57 being used in Ukraine, but the exact details of its role are still kind of unclear. It's a reminder that, these jets are more than just theoretical concepts.
Right.
They have a real impact on conflicts happening around the world.
Yeah, it's definitely a sobering thought. We've been talking about all these amazing capabilities.
Yeah.
But what do you think is like the most important factor when it comes to these top-tier fighter jets? I mean, is it speed, stealth, weapons, or is there something else entirely?
That's a great question. It's hard to pick just one factor because they're all interconnected.
Right.
But if I had to choose, I'd say it's the overall balance and integration of all those capabilities. A truly effective fighter jet, it needs to excel in multiple areas, not just one.
So it's like a high-tech balancing act. You need the right combination of speed, stealth, and firepower to really dominate in the sky.
Exactly. It's about creating an aircraft that can adapt to different situations and outmaneuver its opponents in a variety of ways.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not just about being the fastest or the stealthiest.
Right.
It's about being the most well-rounded and adaptable.
Precisely. And that's why it's so interesting to compare these different jets.
Yeah.
Each one represents a different design philosophy and a different approach to, achieving air superiority.
Right. And it makes you wonder, what's next for these jets? What kind of advancements will we see in the future?
That's the exciting part. This technology is constantly evolving.
Yeah?
We might see even more advanced stealth capabilities, hypersonic speeds, even more sophisticated weapon systems.
Whoa. Maybe even pilotless fighter jets controlled by AI?
Oh, yeah.
That almost sounds like something out of a movie.
Well, it's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Wow.
I mean, artificial intelligence is already playing a big role in aviation.
Right.
And it's only going to become more prevalent in the future.
It's incredible to think about how far this technology has come.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that we're living in a time of just incredible innovation and rapid change.
Absolutely.
These fighter jets are like a symbol of that progress, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and shaping the future of warfare.
I completely agree. And it's important to understand the implications of these advancements.
Oh, for sure.
Both the positive and the potential negative ones.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We've been focusing on the amazing technology.
Right.
But there are definitely some ethical considerations that come along with this level of, advanced weaponry.
Absolutely. As these jets become more and more sophisticated, it raises all sorts of questions about autonomous warfare, the potential for unintended consequences, and, the responsibility of those who control these powerful machines.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, on the one hand, we have these incredible feats of engineering that represent human ingenuity at its best.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we have to grapple with the potential dangers of these advancements.
Right.
It's a complex and nuanced issue, for sure.
You're exactly right. And it's a conversation that we need to keep having as technology continues to evolve at such a rapid pace.
Well said. Speaking of complex issues, let's bring it back to the specific jets we've been discussing.
Okay.
We've talked about their capabilities, their strengths and weaknesses, but what about the bigger picture?
Right.
How do these jets fit into the overall strategies of the countries that built them?
That's a key question. Each of these jets is a reflection of its nation's military doctrine and strategic priorities.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure.
Like, how does, say, the F-35 reflect U.S. strategy versus how the J-20 reflects China's approach?
Okay, so for the U.S., the F-35 is a key part of their global power projection strategy. They want to be able to operate effectively in any environment, from air-to-air combat to ground attack missions.
So the F-35 is kind of like a Swiss Army knife of fighter jets.
Yeah.
It's designed to be adaptable and handle a wide range of situations.
That's a good analogy. It's about versatility and being able to respond to different threats. Now, for China, the J-20 represents kind of a shift in their strategic thinking.
In what way?
Well, for a long time, China focused on regional defense.
Right.
But the J-20 signals a more assertive posture.
So they're not just playing defense anymore.
Right.
They're thinking about projecting power further afield.
Exactly. The J-20 is designed to challenge U.S. air dominance, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region.
It's like a high-stakes chess game. With these fighter jet as the key pieces, right?
A very apt comparison. Each move is carefully calculated.
Yeah.
And the stakes are incredibly high.
It's fascinating to see how these technological advancements are, intertwined with geopolitical strategies.
Yeah.
and global power dynamics.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that these jets are more than just impressive pieces of machinery.
Right.
They represent the ambitions, the anxieties, and the complex relationships between nations in the 21st century.
It's a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly thought-provoking.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that the world of fighter jets is about so much more than just speed and firepower.
Absolutely.
It's a window into the complex realities of international relations, technological innovation, and the constant pursuit of power and security.
You've summed it up perfectly, and I think that's a great place to transition to our final thoughts on this topic.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical specifications of these jets to the broader strategic implications.
Yeah.
But there's one more aspect I think is crucial to consider: the human element.
Yeah, the human element, that's something we hadn't really talked about. We've been talking about these jets like they're just pieces of tech, but there are actual people behind them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are the pilots who fly these incredible machines,
Right.
the engineers who design and build them, the ground crews who keep them operational, and of course the decision makers who decide, how and where it is.
It's easy to forget about all those people when you're so focused on the technology.
Right.
I imagine it takes an incredible amount of skill and training to fly one of these things.
It is incredibly demanding. Pilots have to process huge amounts of information, make split-second decisions.
Wow.
Withstand crazy G-forces. They go through years of rigorous training.
Oh, yeah?
To be ready for the challenges of flying these high-performance aircraft.
Intense. What about the engineers who designed these jets?
Yeah.
I bet they need some serious brain power to come up with something this complex.
Oh, for sure. It takes a whole team of brilliant minds.
Yeah.
To develop these cutting-edge technologies, they're constantly pushing the boundaries of aerodynamics, materials, science, propulsion systems.
It's kind of awe-inspiring to think about all that human effort.
Yeah.
And all the ingenuity that goes into creating these machines. It's like a reminder that even in this age of advanced technology, it's still people.
Yeah.
Who are driving innovation and progress.
I couldn't agree more. And that brings us to an important point, the responsibility that comes with this level of technological advancement.
You mean like the ethical consideration?
Exactly. We talked about the potential for autonomous warfare.
Right.
And the need for careful oversight when it comes to these advanced weapon systems.
Right.
It's crucial that we keep those ethical concerns front and center as technology continues to evolve.
So it's not just about building the most advanced jet possible.
Right.
It's about making sure it's used responsibly and ethically.
Precisely. And that requires open and ongoing dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Between, policymakers, military leaders, scientists, engineers, even the public. We need to consider the potential consequences.
Yeah.
And make sure we're using this stuff in a way that promotes peace and security, not, conflict and destruction.
That sounds like a complex challenge. I guess that's the thing about technology, right? It's powerful.
Yeah.
And it can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly right. It's up to us to make sure these powerful tools are used wisely and ethically. And I think that's a good takeaway for our listeners today.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of top fighter jets,
right,
we're left with this sense of awe.
Yeah.
The incredible technology.
Yeah.
And all the people who make it possible. But we also need to be mindful of the responsibility that comes with this level of advancement.
Well said. It's a delicate balance. We need to continue to push the boundaries of innovation,
right,
while also ensuring that we're using our knowledge and our power for the betterment of humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, hey, thanks for taking us on this incredible journey through the world of fighter jets. It's been an eye-opening experience.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all of you listening out there,
yeah,
thanks for joining us on this fascinating deep dive. We'll see you next time.